Hey yo. So I just found out that one of my favorite bands, singer, is having some issues with playing one of his favorite songs, or one of not his favorite songs, but one of my favorite songs. Um, when he was going through a dark time when he wrote it. Remember everything. Um, it's one of them. Um, I just gotta say, there are victims of alcoholism, even those who didn't necessarily have to deal with the disease itself, but had to deal with the folks who had the disease. There are victims of alcoholism that listen to that song, and it brings them a small modicum of hope. Whereas for Mr. Moody, it is traumatic. It's understandable. I mean, every time I hear that song, I feel his pain. I actually do. I don't think that he can verify with me on that because he obviously was the person with the disease. I grew up with living around that disease. My family is just rampant with it. Alcoholism destroyed my father, destroyed my grandfather, destroyed my grandmother, is destroying my uncle right now, destroyed many of my family members on my dad's side of the family. It's just part of being Native American. We cannot hold our liquor. Which is why yours truly does not drink. When people ask me, hey Blaine, you want a beer? I go, nah. No thanks. I get stupid drunk. And that means I get stupid when I get drunk. And I try not to get drunk. In fact, I try not to drink so that I don't end up getting drunk. And that makes me into a lightweight. So 2 beers and I'm drunk. 1 cup of whiskey and I'm drunk. Not like I'm trying to be. Just the reality of it is. I don't drink because I've seen that hell. I looked into that fire and I said, not me. And I watched as family members burned. So I understand Mr. Moody's interest in not performing those songs at his concerts. And I want, Ivan, if you're watching this, I want you to understand something, brother. I don't blame you. I really don't. I know it hurts. It hurts like a motherfucker. I just wanted to tell you, bro. It's because of guys like you and your band, that gentlemen like me, don't try to freaking suck start a shotgun. Alright? I'm not just a victim of alcoholism. I dealt with a small bout of addiction myself. It wasn't alcohol that was my problem. But what I can see is that it is destructive to your sobriety, brother. So I don't blame you for not wanting to go and perform that, alright? But what I will ask you is that for people like me and, folks like my friends, that you keep those songs available, to the public, so that they can still listen to them. They're not going to be hearing you perform them. That's fine. All right. I mean, we all have to deal with our issues in our own way. I'm good with that. Matter of fact, I extol you for your sobriety, brother. I extol you for your efforts. It takes a lot to try and do. In fact, I'm going to be square with you, brother. I used to be addicted to Vicodin and opiates of... You just run the gamut with it, you know. Okay? I dealt with that shit. Was not proud of it. Still not proud of it. I'm only proud of what I found when I found the other side of it. I'm proud that I found a way around addiction. Now, yeah, it's not pretty and it's not nice. And it does not follow the rules of AA. And yes, AA and NA would probably call me a charlatan and a liar. But I've got to be square with you. There are a few things in this world that are more destructive to your intelligence and to your soul than denying yourself something. Now, mind you, sometimes it's for a good reason, and yes, that can add to your intelligence and your soul. However, what I'm speaking about is something entirely different. What I'm talking about is the pain that you feel when you look at such and then you walk away. Now, you may not realize this, but psychologically that pain is doing far more destruction to you than that bottle of booze would, or that pill, or that needle. And yes, I'm coming from experience here. Alright? I'm not saying you have to do what I'm doing, okay? In fact, I'm saying don't do what I'm doing. Stick with your regimen, stick with the way that you're doing it, because you're probably going to live longer than me. Alright? But I want to point this out to you. Stress can also kill you, brother. You have to find your way. But whatever you do, don't let it depress you. Don't let it stress you. It's not fucking worth it. It's water off a duck's back, brother. And for certain, we're all the same. We are all the same. Yes, I remember everything. That's why that particular song that you wrote hits me so hard. I remember every second of it. Save for one day when I got so drunk that I could not even see. Which is why I don't drink. I like to remember things. Even if it's painful. Even if it hurts so desperately bad that I want to break down and cry. Because the reality is, good men cry. Real good men cry. Because they're still in touch with reality. As much as dealing with the pain is abhorrent, good men cry. Don't let it affect you, brother. Take a deep breath, and when you walk out there, smile. Because everybody's there for you. They're not there because, oh, well, you sang a song that we like. No. We're there because of your story. Because of who you are. Because of what you've done. And how you've helped us to do. The good you have done far outweighs whatever ill you have caused. Now, I know what you're going to say. Oh, dude, you don't know me. You don't know nothing about me. Trust me, brother. There are things that I have seen that would make you say, holy shit, man. I ain't got it so bad. Really. Now, I love your music because what you do is you tell it from here. You don't tell it from here. You don't tell it from your gut. You don't tell it from the back of your mind. You tell it from right here. And that's important. Because what comes from the heart is a reflection of the soul. So if you feel that you cannot surmount this mountain, that it is impassable to you, and you must go around, I personally will not hold it against you, and I'm sure that there are many who think like me. At the very least, they utilize logic, reason, and empathy. So, yes, very many who think like me. Pardon me. What I will say is that whatever you do, brother, never stop. The pain you feel, trust me, it is felt by all of us. As you feel it, so do we. Because the people who your songs speak to, many of us have been there and stood on that death ground. Many of us have lost family and friends. And you make it so that we don't go and say, you know what? Maybe I'll see him again. All I gotta do is just choke this down. We know better now. Thanks to great people like you. You go out there and you make that effort. Thank you. If you feel that, this has changed your mind in any way, well, great. I'm glad. Because what you have already achieved is far beyond that which I could ever possibly imagine. But what you can still achieve is to save more lives than I ever could. And trust me, brother, when I say this, I have saved a fair share by my hand alone. So I would not be surprised to note that you have saved millions, billions from personal destruction. I'd rather die at the hand of my enemy than at my own. So, thank you for what you've given. You have helped to make men like me. And greater men than I. Own that shit. If it wasn't for your song Jekyll and Hyde, guess what? I'd still be Dr. Jekyll and have no Hyde to hide. At the same, I probably wouldn't be part of the public. I wouldn't be a good person because I would find myself considering that I am greater than others. And I know better. No man is greater than another. So Ivan, even though you probably are sitting there going, man, this guy's full of shit and wishy-washy and ooh, feelings from a Californian, yeah, I'm a Californian. I don't do the touchy-feely bullshit all that much. Quite possibly because imagine where you've been. Now imagine being the other side of that. And being where you've been. It sucks. And it's the shit that I dealt with my whole life. Drugs, addiction, war, disease, death, pain, suffering. It happens. And yes, it hurts. It takes a little piece of you every time. I do hope the best for you. I really do. As a matter of fact, I hope that you can find a way around the pain which is pushing you towards this. Towards the idea where you feel you need the alcohol, you feel you need the drugs. I hope you find a way around that pain. It took me a lot. And I'm still not past it. I hurt every day. Both physically and emotionally. But I do not let it get the best of me. And every time I am tempted, I turn around and say no. I want to live. So let me ask you something, brother. Will you live? If not for me, then for your children. Live. It's always worth it. And we will never back down from you. We will always hold you up above us. Because music is what lightens the soul and brings to truth that which is hidden. You do a better job than I ever could in that regard. So, from one man to another, I wish you the best, brother. Please, don't ever stop doing what you do best. Reach the soul of every man you speak to. Reach the heart of every human that you sing to. And when you scream, let the angels hear your voice. Let them tell you what they think of you. And don't listen to the critics. Don't listen to the bullshit. You are a great man. You've done things that people like me and others in my particular situation could never do. Especially the guys who are not so photo friendly. I mean, I'm not photo friendly at all, but I mean, well, yeah, you do know. The guys who have to keep covert. I appreciate everything that you've done because you helped me to not want to go and run right up to the other guy and go, motherfucker, don't you miss. So thank you. Because everything that you've done has made me want to continue. You and musicians like you. Singers, guitarists, bassists, drummers, violinists, pianists. The list can go on. The point is, you have sung quite neatly my life story. Never back down from that. You are a king, brother. I bid you a good day.